Hello everyone, and welcome to this video. In this video, we are going to take a look at Tales of Xillia for the PlayStation 3. The game was developed by Namco Tales Studios and published by Namco Bandai Games and released on the PlayStation 3 in 2011. The game is a new adventure in the Tales of series, and this time follows the adventures of Mila and Jude. Here's a review. Tales of Xillia's plot is all about Mila Maxwell. She is a Lord of Spirits and one day realises that something is very wrong in the world in which they live in. She decides to leave her temple and her homeland and heads off to find answers. Her journey will lead her to find out about an incoming invasion from another realm, truths about her own world, and even truths about herself which will change who she is. The plot itself is very well told and unravels at a nice pace. It gives you time to let things sink in and progress slowly onto the next. It's a well told story and one that I really don't have many complaints with, because a lot of unanswered questions that I didn't find that were in this one do get answered in Tales of Xillia 2. The game's two main characters are Jude, who is a medical student, and Mila, who is the Lord of Spirits. At the very start of the game, you'll get a choice of which one of them to control, as at times the story will be told ever so slightly differently, because you'll be shown that part of the story from that particular character's perspective. Aside from Mila and Jude, you're going to be meeting others such as Alvin the Mercenary, who is a lot more than what he seems, Rowan the Tactician, who has quite a chip on his shoulder, Leia the Nurse, and many others, be them friend or be them foe. Indeed, it also has to be said that the game's character interactions within this game are some of the best that you will come across in a JRPG. There's loads of interactions between each one of the characters, be it from movie scenes, the on-screen skits, or even the victory celebrations. You really do feel that the characters work not just as individuals in this game, but also that they meld together as a team. The gameplay mechanics in Tales of Xillia might not be what you expect them to be at first. Yes, there are the usual going around talking to people, doing quests, leveling up your characters, and whatnot, but when it comes to the game's combat system, with this being a JRPG, you're probably expecting something along the lines of Final Fantasy VII, where everything is turn-based. However, in Tales of Xillia, the combat system is real-time action orientated. This means that you're given a much more wider range of movement, and you're given a much broader selection of choices on how you can tackle enemies. It's a little different and new at first, but it's something which can also come across as a whole lot of fun, and it's also a system that worked so well that it would then go on to later be used in Tales of Xillia 2, Tales of Xillia, and even Tales of Berseria as well. Tales of Xillia has some of the best graphics which you are going to find on the PlayStation 3 console, especially for when it was originally released. The graphics do an amazing job of what they're meant to be creating, give it be the people or the locations. The only real issue that I would have to say with this game's graphics are this. There is a rather lot of random pop-ins with characters or objects. In some locations it can be rather bad, as you can be in a town and then literally right before your eyes 20 or something people just magically appear in front of you as if they're phantoms. It is a bit strange because whilst I would expect this to possibly happen from them loading from a disc, my games are loaded onto the PlayStation 3 hard drive, and you would think that doing this would make things load a lot quicker or pretty much instantly. Yet the pop-in problem seems to happen in this game, whether you're playing the game from the hard drive or either disc format. It just seems a little bit odd. The locations which you're going to be exploring in this game are nothing short of impressive. You're going to be going to many different locations in this world, and each area is packed full of life and wonder. You're going to be going to busy shipping ports, large forests, bustling cities with open markets, swamps, and even a city which has been carved out of the inside of a rocky mountain area. I don't want to say too much, because if this is your first time playing this game, then I don't want to ruin or spoil the experience for you. Needless to say, the locations from within Tales of Xillia's world will not disappoint you. Okay, so let's say you're building up a PS3 library of the best games. If you are wanting the very best that this system has to offer, then you will have to add Tales of Xillia into that collection. Does it have its flaws? Yes, it does. It isn't perfect, and there are a couple of things which I do feel let the game down a bit. That being said, however, Mila, Jude, and everyone else who you meet, either as allies or enemies, they all do an amazing job of making you care, not just about them, but the world in which they're in, and everything that's happening around them. The game does a really amazing job of sucking you into this adventure, and before you realise it, you could have sat down and lost about 5 or 6 hours simply just playing this game. It's actually rather puzzling, because this is one of the best JRPGs which you can get on the PS3 console, and yet Namco don't seem too bothered about re-releasing it anytime soon for any other systems like the PC or the Nintendo Switch. It's a brilliant game, and one which appears to only be available for the PlayStation 3. So, if you are wanting to add or create your own PlayStation 3 library with some of the very best games that that system has to offer, then Tales of Xillia is a good choice to add to that list. Well, that's it for this video, guys. Thank you for listening, thank you for watching, and please subscribe.
Isn't it a bit, well, too short?
I know, isn't that great?
And unrestricted.
I guess so.